Hey, this is Blake Williams with Super Inspector and Super Concierge with another Real Estate Red Flag Minute. Today we're going to talk about HVAC systems. So HVAC stands for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. And so this is the system that heats and cools your house for you. In Texas, we're especially concerned about air conditioning because it gets hot here in the summertime. And so when you're listing on a listing appointment or you're showing a house, some things that you can look for. Number one is look at the condensing unit. If it looks old and rusted, that's something you need to get addressed at the outset. You don't have to wait on the inspection report. If that's an old unit and it's all rusty and it looks like it's 20 years old, you need to get an HVAC guy out there ahead of time to check that thing out. And then you can provide the report from the technician to the inspector. And the inspector will use that to help form his comments concerning the HVAC system. Regardless, if that system is more than 15 years old, then the inspector should be recommending to the client that they budget to replace it. Not necessarily replace it, but that they start to budget to replace it. It's one of the most expensive parts of a house is the HVAC system, and the inspector is really not doing the client good service if he doesn't say anything about the age of the system and doesn't recommend that they begin to budget replacement when that system is more than 15 years old. I've seen some systems that only last 8 to 10 years because they're not properly maintained. And so when you're going through the house, if you see a bunch of grime built up on the registers, that can indicate that the system has not been properly maintained. And you want to get that, if it's a listing client, you want to get that system checked out, get the coils cleaned, get the grills cleaned, so everything looks nice and fresh. If you're on showing a house, then that's a red flag for your client that you've got a system there that hasn't been maintained properly. If it's a dirty system, then air's not flowing through the system as quickly as it should be. And then it doesn't dehumidify the air properly, and you get moisture running through there, and it condenses on those air registers, and that's why you have grime built up, because that moisture mixes with spider webs and dirt and dust and creates that grime on the registers, and it spreads out over the ceiling as well. So those are some red flags you can look for when you're out showing houses on your HVAC systems. And look for more red flag minutes from us, and we're going to be talking about other things like electrical, plumbing, roof, and foundation. That's Blake Williams with Super Inspector and Super Concierge. Thanks.